Everybody, welcome back to Your Gift podcast. We're here tonight with Angie Graf from Hope, Southern Indiana. Thank you very much for joining us. We're really excited to talk to you and learn more about Hope tonight.
Good. Thanks for having me. I'm privileged to be here.
That's awesome. So it's Toby and I again, coming back again. Our first guest was last week with an organization from Charleston, South Carolina, actually called Computers with a Cause, and had a lot of really good feedback. And we're excited to continue this with Hope. And Hope is a local Southern Indiana organization that's doing some really amazing things. Has a widespread kind of program offering and meeting a lot of needs in the organization, in the area. And so tell us a little, Angie, about yourself and kind of what got you interested in Hope and in your executive director role.
Okay. So I guess I've been here about 6 years at Hope Southern Indiana, and I started out as the assistant director, and then with the succession planning moved up into the leadership role here. And I haven't looked back yet. I haven't slowed down yet. My husband and I have lived around the area. We both grew up in Southern Indiana and always had a passion for helping. I've worked in the church for as long as I can remember and raised our kids and taught music for a while. So I'm a music major, so I don't know how that ties in. I can sing to our food pantry clients, but always wanted to do something more. And I guess as far as nonprofit work, I worked for a youth shelter for a while and fell in love with the kids and what we were able to accomplish through the youth shelter. And then kind of figured out the kids needed more services from early on. And, how could we connect the youth shelter to services within the community? And I found out about Hope Southern Indiana and wanted to back up even further in the kids' lives. What could we do at an earlier age? And so I've been able to piece it all together, and God willing, we're just going to keep going and really make a difference, in our community. We're kind of the safety net for social services in Floyd County.
I know you serve more than just Floyd County. What areas does Hope touch and to help support?
We help in Clarksville as well, and Jeff. We serve over in Portland twice a month. We serve the homeless over there. We've got a really good group of people that we're working with to move these people out of the situations that they're in into housing or in some cases just safety or recovery. We work a lot with the Healing Place and Recenter Ministries and try to get our homeless population that are addicted and partner them with, other agencies that can help.
Gotcha. Now, I know the office is located there in New Albany, and that's where the food pantry is.
Yes.
Run out of? Yeah.
Yeah, the food pantry is large. We served around 12,000 people last year through the food pantry. Yeah, we're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 3:15. And we are a faith-based organization, but we don't ask that at the door. We serve and love all people that come through, regardless of anything really. If they're hungry, we're going to feed them. And the community really comes together to help us do that.
So besides the food pantry, can you give us some of the things that Hope actually does to help out in the community?
Mm-hmm. So we have programs that run several times a year. The first program of the year, I guess you could say, is called Pack the Bus. And so we work with the 12 schools here in Floyd County primarily, and they send us lists of items that their teachers need or that the students need, and then we go to the community for help. So we were able to collect 27,000 items last year and deliver those to the schools. So each school is different. There's different needs, but we work with a lot of churches and businesses to help collect the items, and they go directly to the schools. So that program itself is called Pack the Bus. We also work with the local housing authority and gave out 500 backpacks to students living in public housing this year. It was a great collaboration. Second program of the year is called Clothe-A-Teen. And this program is referred by school counselors to low-income families that really need a boost around school time. So we're able to give them a $100 voucher to Burlington Coat Factory, and they can go pick out brand new school clothes. And I can't tell you how many kids, when we go, because we meet them there and we give out the vouchers. And so I've got a team of volunteers at Burlington. This year we weren't able to do it that way. We had to do it a little bit different. But in years past, the kids are so excited because many of the children that we serve do not get new clothes, and they don't get a shopping spree. So to see them spend their money and pick out new school clothes is truly a blessing. And I only had to see it once and I was sold on it, how the program works. And we get so many cards and calls from parents, about the issue of not having clothes and not having school supplies, that these are two very strong programs that we have done for many years and will continue to do.
How many kids would you say you help through these programs each year?
Oh my goodness. We were over 400 kids for Clothe-A-Teen this year. Mm. So yeah, and those are school counselor referred. In some cases, DCS will refer kids, and in some cases, the youth shelter, has kiddos up there that need help. So we just try to work with all entities where kids are in need, or someone would see a child suffer or a family suffer. We certainly don't want kids to, especially low-income kids that are already under stress and their families are already under stress, to worry about school clothing. It just shouldn't be, something they worry about.
You mentioned Burlington Coat Factory. Is that a partnership that you have with Burlington Coat Factory?
Yeah, it is. So we are able to do vouchers. So the staff there at Burlington know when the kids go through the line with the vouchers, it's only to be used for school clothing and appropriate school clothing that's on the school list. So nobody can go through there and buy, teeny tiny bathing suits or dog food or anything like that. So Burlington knows, hey, this is what this is for. They look forward to it. Burlington does. It blesses the people at the registers, the volunteers. So we love this program, and we see immediate difference in the families that we're helping. So that's our other kids program. Then the biggest program of all is called Spirit of the Season. It's our Christmas program. So how this one works is a little bit different than Angel Tree. If you're familiar with Angel Tree, which is Salvation Army, we do signups 2 weeks prior to Salvation Army. Then Salvation Army does their signups. We both share lists. We also share lists with Shop with a Cop. So no families are on any of the other lists. That's a collaboration and a partnership that we really trust and we love, because we want to make sure and help as many kids as we can, with one list. So we're all in agreement. We all share those, that data. And this year we're at, we had 450 kiddos that we were helping with Christmas, and that's Christmas gifts. And then we're able last week and this week to get 39 more off of the wait list. So that's exciting for us. That program, it helps families, and especially around Christmas time, which is another time that can be especially stressful on families, school time, because they need stuff to go to school, and then Christmas time because it's Christmas. And those hardships, we want to be there for the community. So we work closely with Salvation Army, to make sure the families are on one or the other list. And the other thing that's different about our program is you will know exactly who you're helping, and they will know you. So it gives an opportunity for them to get to know who they're helping, and they can talk to them the rest of the year. But it's another way to strengthen the community. A lot of our donors say, hey, I didn't know that this was a need until I met, my person that you hooked me up with for Christmas. And now I love them and they're a part of our family. I've invited them to church. So we hear many stories like that of the relationship building going further than just I'm giving your kids gifts.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can only imagine when you go buy this stuff for the angel tree and things like that, you're picking out certain items. But if you know who you're picking out for, and you know the individuals, or at least better than just a name on a piece of paper, not only you're probably going to maybe go a little bit overboard than that you typically would, but you'll probably get a little bit more. So that's an amazing feature there. I really think that's wonderful.
Well, as we do our programs, it seems like what these families are really lacking is relationships with people that aren't in their same group of friends. So if we can elevate them to, say, meeting somebody that can not only be there spiritually, mentally, just be there for their family, this is the ultimate goal for us. Connecting people in the community with other people in the community that have a gift or something to mentor or, help by. So it can be a two-way street too, because I tell you, many of our donors say, what a blessing. I was blessed more. They end up coming home and crying, and, they're blessed when they deliver these gifts or when they go take a Thanksgiving basket and they meet the families. Some of them just didn't know that there was a need for food. It can be as simple as a Thanksgiving basket. This year in particular, we delivered 189 Thanksgiving baskets through the community. And those were hand delivered and hand picked up. And you wouldn't think a ham would mean that much to somebody, but if they don't have a ham on their table, it means a lot.
Yeah.
But so those are programs that we do. Our regular emergency services, which is the bulk of what we do, is rent assistance for low-income families and individuals. And it's the food pantry, which we served about 12,000 last year. We partner with Dare to Care to get a lot of that food. We do food pickups at Kroger and Aldi, at Adrian's Bakery. Several small-time little shops here in New Albany always donate their stuff to us, which we absolutely love, and our clients, they love equally as well. But we can help with electric, gas, water. It just depends on what the need is. And those are emergency services. We certainly don't want anybody to get turned off their electricity or anything like that, because once that's done, then you have to do another deposit, and it's a whole lot worse if you wait till they're disconnected.
How have you seen COVID and all that's going on this year in 2020 impact the need?
The need is great, especially for housing. I think our food pantry at one time our visits went down a little bit once that relief package came through and people were getting $400 more of SNAP benefits, which is basically food stamps on their card. When that happened, our food pantry dropped a little bit because people could go buy what they wanted. I mean, that's amazing. And that's what we want to happen. And you want to see those numbers drop. Then once that stopped, you saw our numbers creep back up. Through the food pantry, we served since COVID. So from 3/16/2020 until the 15th of December, which is when I ran our client track, we had 497 new clients. Those were brand new clients who have never visited a food pantry ever. And with those numbers, they can come once a month for food for full service, and then they can come once a week for produce and bread. So it's not just you serve them one time and they're gone. This is something they can come monthly and get their food, and establish a relationship with us. These are people that have never visited a food pantry, and you don't see numbers like that in years that aren't in a pandemic. Mm-hmm. If we had to deal with numbers skyrocketing that much within a month in a normal year, we would begin to question the system. So following those numbers is huge. We work with other food pantries as well. They're seeing similar trends. Biggest thing right now, like I said, is housing. Eviction notices are starting to go out. When somebody loses their home, it is so much more expensive to take them out of homelessness, pay a deposit, pay late fees, pay to get everything on. It's so much harder than to just be on the prevention side. So we have spent, since COVID started, in homeless prevention about $26,000 just saving people, or $26,000 on hotels. That's what that is. The hotels and transitional housing. And then in rental assistance to keep people in their home, and this is from 3/16/2020 till now, was about $62,000. That was 135 families. So we keep seeing these numbers go up and up and up. And I think housing is going to be the biggest, because even on your stimulus check that they're going to give out, that might be 1 month's rent for someone.
Yeah.
And if they're 5 months behind, 4 or 5 months behind, it's not going to help a whole lot.
So everything that you're talking about seems overwhelming, especially the cost for everything. I'm sure that there's different ways that people can help your mission and what you're doing there with Hope Southern Indiana. You want to provide a couple of the ways that if people want to help and be a part, whether they want to, whether it's money or time or whatever they can do to help out?
Sure. So they can go on our webpage, which is hopesi.org. And they can go on, and there's all kinds of opportunities on there. There's a volunteer page. There's a way to give. There's even a way, once you give, where you can direct your money towards one specific thing. So if you want to help with programs, or you want to help with rent, or emergency services, you can just check that box. If you would like a family to be partnered up with, if you would like to know a family in the neighborhood or in a neighborhood by you, if you contact us, we can also make that happen, so you can do some relationship building. We would love to do that.
Which programs are in the most need right now for volunteers and donations?
I would say emergency services, which is the cash programs that we do for rent and utilities, is in most need. As far as volunteer, we need some volunteers in the food pantry. We have about 64 volunteers a week to run Hope. And a lot of our volunteers are elderly and have chosen to stay home during the pandemic, which we totally understand, and we want to keep them safe. So we do have some openings in the pantry.
That's great. I'm sure hopefully there's a lot of folks out there that'll see this and reach out and help give that support for sure. If you think about this year or in your total time at Hope, is there a story or a couple stories of people's lives who have been changed that just keep you fired up to keep coming back and connecting more people?
Yeah. One of our homeless guys, I love him to death. He was an addict for 17 years on the streets, lost all of his teeth, lost everything that he ever had, his family and everybody. And he came to us and he was broken, just crying and broken, and said, "I'm done. I need help." And we were able to put him in an Uber and send him over to the healing place. He battled his way through addiction for about 8 months, ended up in a halfway house over there. And now he comes back and volunteers here at Hope. He's sober, clean. He's done everything right. We've helped him get into public housing, and he's doing really well. And somebody that's been addicted 17 years, number one, it's a miracle that they're still alive. But number two, that they want to give back, and they're so thankful to be alive. That to me is the ultimate. I mean, that's life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
He will make a difference in the lives of others by what he does, and his story alone, And then Barbara is another example. We helped a lady named Barbara with hotels. She lost her house and everything she had during the pandemic. And we were able to put her in a hotel for 7 weeks with her grandson and her daughter, who were 6 and 7. So she's raising both. Her daughter that had the other child was an addict. And so grandma ended up with both kids. We paid for housing for 7 weeks, put her on the waiting list to get into public housing. and she is in there and she is doing wonderful and the kids are thriving. And she was living in her car. She was one that the school called and said, hey, can you please help this family? But without the money to put her in a hotel for 7 weeks while we waited on an opening in housing, I don't know what she would have done. She would have probably lost her own child and her grandchild. And again, that's
heartbreaking.
Yeah, but I mean, she's a success. She's over here. So we've had furniture donated to her and she's on our programs. The kids still need help. And so we're continuing to help, but she's got a job and she's making it. But we wouldn't have been able to do it without the community rallying around her and saying, hey, we want to help you. We love you. You're worth something. Your life is valuable. And let's get this rolling. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
So one of the comments that we got on, I think on streaming on Facebook, this kind of off topic a little bit, that they said that you and Dan are very good singers.
That is hilarious. Yes. So we were both music majors in college, and that's how we met. And we had a Southern gospel trio for a while. But now my husband is a worship leader at church, and I sing with him in the praise team.
That's awesome.
Who is that?
Steve Renfro was throwing right out of the bus there.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Now, what church do you all belong to?
Return Church on Eastern Boulevard in Clarksville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That is so funny.
Well, hey, if there was anything you'd like to leave people with, what might that be?
Generosity comes in many forms. If you have nothing to give, pray. Generosity doesn't have a monetary value. So if you're watching this and you have no money and it's Christmas and you're stressing, hey, pray for the people that need help. God will make a way. Volunteer your time, write a card, go check on a neighbor. Just do what God wants us to do, love on each other, and we're going to make this happen.
Yeah, well, you hit right at our mission too here at YourGift. So that's pretty awesome. So we've really appreciated your time tonight.
Thanks.
I loved hearing about Hope. I know that others will love to hear about it as well. And other than visiting hopesi.org, are there any other ways that folks can learn more? Or is that the best method?
That's the best method, but we're on Facebook too. You can look us up there. You can email me. If you want to take a tour and come down and see what we do, that'd be great. We've been in this building since 2012, but Hope has been in existence since 1964. It started with 3 churches in New Albany that came together and actually put their denominations to the side and said, hey, can we work together to help the kids in the neighborhood? And that's how Hope started in 64, with 3 churches just wanting to love on people. And today we partner with 54 churches, and we're partners with Metro United Way and Dare to Care. And we just all come together and we're the safety net. So we love working with people.
That's awesome.
I could talk your head off. I know y'all are like, man, is she ever going to quit talking?
No, this has been amazing. This is great. I can't think of a better thing to talk about on Christmas week.
I'm so glad.
So yeah, we've really, really appreciated the time and thankful for what you do in the community and with Hope and what Hope brings to the community as well. And we just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Hope you have a great night.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care.